Sidney Crosby wins the draw to Malkin, to Letang, a shot, and it's on the goal line again, and again it doesn't go in. And it squirts free, it's still in play. Letang across to Malkin, he scores!
Well, Dubnyk's arguing right now. Maybe the Wild will take a look. Did he get interfered with? I don't know. But he's going to tell his captain. Let's take a look from the face-off first. The Penguins shot first mentality. Hornqvist bumping into Dubnyk a little bit. They keep the puck out. Now he's rolling over on his back and the shot comes back. Now Dubnyk's going to argue that he was interfered with by Patrick Hornqvist as the Malkin shot goes through. Not there. He was going to say he was unable to set himself after this collision. Now Hornqvist was knocked into first, but then right there was Dubnyk impeded. Was he able to set himself and get back and square up on the Malkin shot? And the Wild, if they want, they have a coach's challenge. If they want to challenge any type of interference. What a job by the Wild to keep the initial chance away from the cage, Staggy. And a real good job by Brodin to shuffle that puck out with his glove. And we'll see if there's any... see what we got here, guys.
I guess it becomes a matter of how much time can elapse between the time that a player is, making it difficult for the goalie to get into position and when the puck is actually shot, because by the time it was shot, Dubnyk was in position, if for only a split second.
But was he in the position he wanted to be in? He should have been in, and this will all be determined if Mike Yeo decides to use a coach's challenge.
Messinota is challenging the play. There was goalie interference prior to the puck entering the net.
Okay, so there is a coach's challenge right now, and Mike Yeo is definitely challenging goaltender interference right now. And it'll be the interference, not this one in particular, because he was pushed in. But right here, as Hornqvist shoves Dubnyk, Dubnyk rolls over. Does he get into the position he needs to be in to make that save? I don't know. I honestly don't.
If you look at Hornqvist's stick, it comes underneath him when he thinks the puck is still under there. The puck is swept underneath the body of Dubnyk. Now it's cleared, and Hornqvist is reaching in there thinking the puck's still there, and it's long gone.
And he pushes him right there a little bit, Staggy, and if that's enough to determine in the situation room that it interfered with Dubnyk's ability to get in position, get set, and make a reasonable save on the Malkin shot, then they could overturn this. And then that's why the coach's challenge has been instituted.
It's a different one because there is definitely contact with him. It's just a matter of how much time can go by between that contact and when the puck is actually shot. And that's a new one for me. So we'll see what they say up in Toronto. And the referees are looking at an iPad, a monitor.
I mean, you have to...
They're making the decision right here, actually, on the ice in their monitor.
Now, Brodin pushes Hornqvist in here, so this is no harm, no foul, in my opinion. Now, this one here, when the puck goes out the other side and the little shove. Now, Dubnyk, why does he roll the other way here? Because he doesn't know where the puck is. Now, had he rolled and got up and had time to make a position, get in position the correct way, I think he could have got in the correct position, Staggy, to make the save. But after that little shove, he decides to roll over this way. He's way out of position by rolling that way, and he can't get in position to make the save on Malkin. Now, was he unable to make the save on Malkin because of his doings or because of Hornqvist's doings? And that's what they'll have to decide here in Toronto.
They're actually deciding it here, right here. These referees will decide it themselves.
Yeah, they're looking at the monitor.
I said Toronto. I was mistaken saying that. They're the ones that are making the decision.
Well, they have to look, and they'll get feedback from the people. But yes, they're looking at that on a monitor right now. But what is it, Staggy? About an 8 or 9 inch monitor there that they have?
It's like an iPad about that size. Yeah.
And they're on the headphones as well.
And they're having the same issue,
Yeah.
Bob, and the same discussion we are.
Yeah,
you know,
they are.
How much time has elapsed? You know,
So they're on the headphones as well as looking at that iPad. It's a great look at it, guys. And they're on the same, deciding the same thing. This is all new for them. This is all new for them. So did Dubnyk take himself out of position? Or was it the bump that happened, 5 seconds before the puck went in? And here comes the call.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. We have a good goal. Minnesota loses their timeout.